So if I'm smacking my lips the entire episode,
Yeah, I know.
so everyone listening on audio is like, well, now we got to go watch the video. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Paper Jacket Podcast. Today's guest is Cindy from Marketing to Go, and we are going to talk with her about her journey, how she started it over 15 years ago, back when Facebook was like basically just beginning, before Facebook pages even existed. I'm excited to get into this with you guys. She brought a fun entertainment to it today. You'll see in just a second. Let's get into the podcast. What's up, Cindy? Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Jeremy. I'm so excited to be here.
We were just talking beforehand about how much of a fan you are of our podcast. You've seen all of our episodes.
I think I've pretty much seen all of them.
Well,
Yep.
I mean, so it's nice to have not only a great guest, but also a great fan of the Paper Jacket Podcast.
Yeah, and of course, my favorite one is you and Josh, the first episode.
Oh, yeah,
Joshua
yeah.
speaking about knowing each other from middle school. How
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. We've had quite the journey, and so. But before we get into the podcast, naturally, Cindy, you know that we always have a drink. Well,
I do.
Right now I have empty glasses because Cindy said she has a surprise for us. I have no idea what we're about to do.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's something different.
Oh.
I haven't seen you do this on the show
Okay.
before, right?
Okay.
So I instead of a peanut butter whiskey, I brought peanut butter chocolate. So
Okay.
it's all of the. I think you have to be brave to try either. Right, and so this one is more of a, you get a buzz still from the peanut butter and chocolate, but there's no regrets, there's no hangover, anything like that, right? So I bought a golden spoon.
A golden spoon.
Yep. So when you were asking me, do I need my shot glass? I was like, well, yeah, I think you do, but I don't know that anything will shoot out of the shot glass, so it might just have to be a.
Might be hard to sip, yeah.
Like it, or,
Okay.
I'm not sure. If we have any snacks to go with it.
Well, bon appetit. Okay. I've never had this. And at first I was like,
it
so
in
it's
frame?
like a Nutella. It is peanut butter.
But it's a thicker.
Yeah. That's delicious.
Yep. So it could be a new thing on the show, right? You just never know. I know. You want this spoon?
So if I'm smacking my lips the entire episode,
Yeah, I know.
that's because I'm licking chocolate peanut butter. So everyone listening on audio is like, well, now we got to go watch the video. Well, thank you, Cindy, for our new type of peanut butter chocolate drink.
Yep.
What's funny is that we've only had like 2 or 3 people who actually want to have the peanut butter whiskey.
Okay.
Some people are like, ooh, yeah, that sounds nice. And the other people are like,
Yeah.
Or it's like 9 a.m. and they're like, you're offering me whiskey?
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah, and I've seen the bourbon option,
yeah,
as well.
yeah. So I actually all day today, we've had other podcast guests, and not one of them have wanted the peanut butter whiskey. So I've yet to have peanut butter whiskey today.
But it is 5 p.m. So
Now it's 5 p.m. Yeah, and I'm having peanut butter. No, this is fantastic. All right, that was fun. So Cindy, outside of being a fan of Paper Jacket,
Yeah, of course.
what do you do?
So I do a lot of things.
Yeah.
And the one thing I am, and I know you've talked about it on the show before, I'm a disciple of Jesus.
Awesome.
And I brought you little.
Wow.
Jesuses.
When it says little, yeah.
They are little
Jesus
baby
statue.
Jesuses is what we like to call them.
Just got to them today.
Yep. My son is deployed, and I sent him a whole box of baby Jesuses, and he's like, "Mom, you're killing us with the baby Jesuses." He's like taping them above doorways and where they're staying overseas.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. But no, I'm an entrepreneur, a mom, a wife, a dog mom, a daughter, just all around. You name it. philanthropic. I'm in several nonprofits, that I love, and just found out the other day I'm getting an award for one of them.
Wow.
It's not why you do it, but
Congratulations.
it's so fun. Thank you. But yeah, I own a marketing firm, so when the marketing company asked me to be on their podcast, I thought that was super fun, right?
Well, as you know, Paper Jacket is actually not a marketing company.
This is true, but
we are the media company that marketing companies can hire.
Yes.
A little plug, right?
Of course.
Tell us about your marketing firm.
Sure. So we've been in business about 13 years now.
Wow.
I worked in corporate most all of my life, and I got laid off after 9 years there, and it was a newspaper, so, understandable. But I got a severance package, and I was like, wait, you're going to pay me for 3 months not to work? Okay. So that was my little kick to go out there and start marketing to go. And it was right when social media wasn't even called social media, like Facebook, right? Back then.
Yeah.
And it was kicking off. So we had just an amazing opportunity to work with the sheriff's office and the school district and every, business you can think of, the city and the county and everybody else, either coaching them and training them or helping them get everything launched, teaching them how to tweet, and post on Facebook. And Instagram wasn't so much back then. Of course it is now. And, everything else that falls under it. So yeah, it's been a wild ride.
So tell me, when it came to the marketing firm, like what would you say you specialize in? It sounds like social media,
Yes.
but it what you just described almost sounded like you were coaching through social media.
Yes, both. So when it comes to counties and cities and things like that, they like to keep pretty tight knit. So I would train someone to do it, and back then it wasn't so automated. You had to download your posts and have those for public record, and
it was technically okay to be like, I posted once today, I'm pretty darn good. Or I posted once this week, I'm pretty darn good.
Got to turn off the comments. There was all that, going on. Some cities still have comments, turned off. What are you going to do? Mostly social media is our main gig, but, we do email marketing and websites and a lot of events. People are like, hey, I've got this event. I want you to promote it for us. I want you to do everything for it, whatever that might be. We do amateur video, like with our iPhone, nothing your level, but I've been just on my clients for years to do some sort of video.
Yeah.
And you probably know this when, they first start, they might be nervous, and
naturally.
Naturally. And you just coach them up and, pretty soon they're no problem.
I say, if you're willing to post any video that you make, then we're just going to you're going to love us. So the bravest thing you can do is ever post any content on social media. So as far as making the video, that's the easier part in that sense, for the bravery, I would say. But what would you say in your 13 years as a marketing firm? A lot has changed. I mean, one of the most annoying things that I find in marketing is how often things change. As our entire video team, while we are great at it and do it a lot, we hate vertical video. I mean, it was one of that was probably the biggest change in the video industry where it just went, ugh. And then also like how the quantity of videos has changed immensely when it comes to things. It's like I was actually just telling someone last night, I used to make maybe 1 to 2 videos a week and I would earn fine. Everything was great. Now to earn the equivalent, I basically have to make about 60 videos a week.
Wow.
Now a lot of them are short form and stuff like that, but it's like, just because it's short form doesn't mean it's less. So that's a little bit of my journey, but you being a marketing firm with all of it, what have you noticed? Or how have you felt the last 13 years of just having to swing with a lot of different things?
Yeah, and it's so funny that you asked that question because just yesterday I was like, I'm going to ask ChatGPT what industry changes the most and how often, because I feel that marketing does, right?
Yeah.
I can't really think of another industry
Is it IT or is it marketing? Which
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Security. I didn't do it yet.
Oh, you haven't done it yet.
Maybe on the way home, and then
okay.
I'll let you know. But yeah, I feel it's marketing, and people that's one of the questions I get a lot is, how do you keep up with this? And, the answer is, I have no idea. It's podcasts, it's, listening to social media marketing, world podcasts, keeping up with, everything that's going on, reading when you log into your platforms, this is what we offer now, the new pop-ups that come up there that you usually just swipe away. So it's constantly educating yourself on what's going on. But it's cool.
Yeah.
And we used to have a bigger team, but now it's a smaller team because we do take advantage of technology and AI. And, we're using Centra, for our AI of choice, right now with the 13, AI assistants that you can train for everything from copywriting to social media to business development to everything. So yeah, it's constantly changing.
Yeah. It's like the moment you build the system, you got to go edit the entire system.
Yes. Yeah.
What would you say is your go-to platform for social media? Is it X? Previously it was Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn.
Probably still Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. As much as I don't want to put it out there, dislike it.
What is your personal choice?
Probably Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun. It's happy. You're just posting pictures of whatever it might be. The sunset, the sunrise, your food, your dog. So that it's a bit more happy vibe.
Right. But for your business, seem to go more Facebook.
Yeah, so the advertising and for Meta, and it is Facebook and Instagram, all wrapped up in one for advertising. But Meta knows everything about you. And whether they're listening on your watch or your phone or, Google is as well, right? I'm probably going to leave here and I'm going to get ads about podcasts or chocolate peanut butter or whatever.
Peanut butter,
right?
yep.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah. So for niche, advertising for our customers, it would be, Meta. And I do love some good video ads, like advertising on YouTube, Google. That seems to do very well too for clients.
When you're developing a strategy for someone, and I'm guessing you're normally telling them like you need to have video in your strategy. Yes. What kind of videos do you like to help make for your clients, and how do you build those strategies?
Yeah, so right now we just did one a strategy for a eye doctor. So we got some fancy new laser machine in, right? So AI is really good at ideation, giving you ideas for things, right? And one of AI's ideas was an intro of the doctor. I was like, he's going to introduce himself in all the videos anyway. I don't want a whole video. Hi, I'm Dr. So-and-so, right? Sure. So, what else do you have? Give me some other ideas. And it was who may qualify for laser surgery. And I think that would be a really good video for him to do. Okay, great. So let's take that a step further. And using AI is great, but it's like giving your high school or college intern something. You don't want to just like ask AI, copy and paste it and send. You need to go over that whole thing, right? The whole
Sometimes just like give me something to start with, and then now let my creative brain take it from here. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. It's all about the prompt, right? It's still all about the prompt. What as a consumer, what I want to know about laser surgery. Is it going to hurt? What's the downtime? How much is it going to cost? So those are kind of the videos that we would, do and what we would recommend. Yeah.
So why did you decide to start a marketing firm after being in the newspaper industry?
So I was in sales and ad sales. I'd never been before. I'd always been inside, and I was about this pregnant with one of my boys, and my boss's boss said, hey, when you come back from maternity leave, this is at the newspaper, we're going to have an outside sales position open. And I go, well, I don't know. I've never done outside sales. And she's like, you'll be fine. I said, okay. So I came back from maternity leave, did outside sales, loved it, met almost everyone, in the community, every business. If I didn't know that business owner, my coworker was telling me about that business owner, so I kind of knew them. So when I got laid off, I was like, I literally know every business owner in town.
Yeah.
So I just went and I was like, hey, there's this new thing that you can market on, and it's called Facebook, and we should put your business on there, right?
There you go.
And I still have my first customer. He said, print media doesn't work for me. I see what you're doing on Facebook with the nonprofits you're involved with. I want you to do that for my business, and I'll pay you. You got to be kidding me. You know, pay me to do Facebook. And at the time, it was celebrities and you know, athletes. And
what year was this? Was this
2010?
2010. Okay.
Yeah, 11. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Super beginning.
Like just the beginning of the pages. Yep.
Yeah. So that was it.
And how much did you know about Facebook actually going into it?
So I was on MySpace, you know, and I was on Facebook.
Yep.
So they didn't have the business profiles like they do now. So I've been on the Flagler Beach Historical Museum board since then. And for example, their Facebook pages, Flagler Beach is the first name. Historical Museum is the last name. That's how we had to set it up, right?
Yeah,
you know, back in the day. It's since, you know, changed to a business page.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember
that?
you saying.
Yeah. So I knew a lot because of the nonprofits that I was involved with. You know, they've got low budget. They're trying to promote fundraisers and whatever it was. And, you know, you can write press releases out the wazoo and, you know, go by and hand out flyers and, you know, send out email blasts, you know, but that social media, the Facebook was the jam at the time, still is.
So it seems a niche of yours is helping nonprofits. Now, what kind of nonprofit work do you like to do?
So I'm in the United Way. We have the women's group, you know, in Flagler County. So Women United Flagler, and it's the power of the purse. And we started that chapter during the housing downturn. So was that 18, 19? I can't remember the year now, right? 17?
The
possibly?
downturn of houses?
Housing, yeah, the housing crash, housing market.
That was 08.
Okay, was
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
So we started it then because there was a gap, you know, of these women and kids not having enough food, right? You know, in Flagler County, especially because that was one of the fastest growing counties in the area. So when that tanked, lots of people lost their jobs. So that was one of my groups that I'm in. I'm in on the board of Teens in Flight, and they give free lessons or super low cost to children of military personnel that have been, you know, killed or injured, right? I'm going to use at-risk lightly, you know, that term, but, you know, teens that need some guidance. Gosh, the Rotary is near and dear to my heart. I'm in the Flagler Beach Rotary. I've been in there for 13 years. And, you know, we feed 500 families a month. You know, in Pearson, we do 1,000 kids' toys, you know, each holiday. And we, you know, do random things like there's a helmet law for skateboarders in Flagler Beach, which is probably statewide. And the police chief, we're good friends with him. And he said, I don't want to give these poor kids a ticket for not getting a helmet. So we bought helmets. And so when he sees a kid without a helmet, he gives him a helmet that Rotary bought. We buy books through the Dolly Parton Imagination Library for every kid in Flagler Beach, 0 birth to 5 years old. They get a book with their name on it once a month in the mailbox to them, age appropriate as they grow till 5 years old. So Rotary does so many, you know, really cool things. We bought an emergency trailer for the police department, so they don't have to go to storage and get all their stuff out. And if there's an emergency, they have it right there. You hook up the trailer and they're ready to go. So Rotary, and it's global. We've done wells in Africa and, you know, different things like that. So that's one of my, you know, passions as well.
That's awesome. I mean, it sounds like you're just extremely involved in your community and like, what are the holes? And I'll fill them.
Yes,
that seems to be your niche there.
Yeah. We solve problems, you know, we're connectors. If we can't figure out, you know, what it is, you know, we'll, you know, find someone that can and help.
Where do you, if you were to give advice to someone who was like, I want to help them out in my community, I don't really know where to start or what to do, like, because you're so involved, like, what would you say is the best way for someone to get involved in their community? Be them an entrepreneur, be them just a random citizen, you know, what would you say?
So I would start with United Way in your area. You know, we've got the Volusia Flagler United Way here. And in Flagler in particular, they have a nonprofit that you sign up for something that you like to do. I don't know, you fix cars, you know, want to direct traffic, whatever it is. And then they send out an email blast, hey, we need 3 people, you know, tomorrow from 2 to 5 to blah, 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 right? You know, move a bed, you know, help a family, whatever it is. So that's one organization that just does that. And I know United Way, Volusia Flagler's working on that arm as well, connecting people, but they will connect you to the nonprofits that they, you know, support to help as well. So yeah, you can always find something that that you can get involved with, and your church as
Yeah.
well, right?
Yeah.
If you have a church, family that they're like, our church just started a seniors, not high school seniors, but a seniors group to help seniors that might feel, lonely, they can't get out of the house, or if you want to volunteer to help
Yeah.
seniors, bring a meal, sit and chat, go to a doctor's appointment, that kind of thing. So just matching, people in the community like that, I think is beautiful.
It's really cool that you take action. You're like, look, you'd say this all day long, but I'm going to be the one to take action and stuff like that. Even coming into this podcast, you're like, I already know how to be involved. It's the peanut butter.
And should we just
It keeps
maybe
sink-
one more?
Well, I don't even know how to lick it now. Look, it's sinking.
Here, why don't you use the golden spoon?
No,
Give it a
I'm all
try.
right.
Look at
Well,
that. Here,
okay.
it's
All right,
got
all right.
some on there. It's fresh from the jar.
Now I need a drink.
I know.
Can you tell me the story of how you got these Jesuses?
So, my husband, I got married in March.
Congratulations.
Thank you. He is a veteran, Army veteran, and we go to the VA a lot, Veterans Administration in Daytona. And one of the ladies had these on her, check-in. The check-in person had this on her desk. I was like, those little Jesuses are super cool. And then my ladies' Bible study, they bought a bunch of them and handed them out at Bible study one night, and I wasn't there. I'm like, I didn't get any baby Jesuses, So I went on Amazon and I got the baby Jesuses. Yeah,
You're like, I'm gonna get my own box.
I'm getting my own box. So this is my second baby Jesus. I call them baby Jesus, but on Amazon, if you go to buy them, they're little Jesuses. So I bought a second box already. I've just been carrying them around in my briefcase.
I'm gonna give this to my daughter when I get home tomorrow, and she's gonna absolutely love this.
Yeah, they're all yours.
Well, I get all four. Okay then.
Yeah, and there are different ethnicities of the little Jesuses too.
No
just to let
kidding.
you know, yes.
That's cool.
Yep,
That's cool.
I know. Yep.
So if you were to have any advice for a small business, and being a marketing firm that you are, being an entrepreneur, because you said you're an entrepreneur, so it sounds like you have more than just a marketing firm. We didn't even get into that.
No, just the marketing
Just
firm.
a marketing firm.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
that's what you meant
but-
by an entrepreneur. All
But
right.
I feel that I'm
All right.
everywhere all the time.
'Cause
Yes, yeah.
I'm waiting for you to be like, so I've been to space, as a marketing firm, what do you believe that most businesses are not doing that they should be doing to ultimately just help themselves?
So I do believe in cause marketing, right? And that's how I started my business, was giving back to the community. Someone that saw that asked, and that was my very first customer, right? Very first client. So that's number one. I just met with a woman. She's got a cleaning business, and I've known her from 10 years back, and it's all organic, cleaning. And then she's like, I just bought a restaurant. I go, you did what? She's like, it was really dirty. We had to clean it. But she's like, what do you think about on Tuesdays if we're open only 11 to 2, because we're normally closed on Tuesday, and we'll just do it one Tuesday a month. And we're just going to sell pizza. We're not going to crank up the other kitchen equipment, just the ovens. And 100% of the proceeds will go to charity. People can nominate the charity that they want to get the proceeds each month. And she goes, I don't know, it might be $100 the first month, it could be $1,000 the next month, but 100% of the proceeds will go to charity. And I was like, yes,
That's awesome.
hands down, do it. So anything you do doesn't have to be money, right? Time, talent, treasure.
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend that. And this is cliche, but do what you love and the money will follow, right? Yeah.
I mean, I think in any kind of podcast I've listened to about business, one of my favorite is How They Built It, how I Built It podcast. And one of the things that they ask every entrepreneur that's been on there, and it's always like these, the CEO of WeWork or something like that. It's all these businesses that and stuff like that. And it's like, they always ask, what do you believe? Do you believe it was luck that built your business? And almost every single time they're like, you can technically say there's luck involved because it's like, I gained opportunities that not everyone actually gets, right? But I was able, I had worked really hard to position myself to be available for that opportunity.
Yes.
And I think that's ultimately what a lot of this cause marketing is. It's like, if you are involved and build and work toward more opportunities become available to you
Right.
to then take advantage of those opportunities. Then you could say it's luck, but you made your luck in that situation. And so, so to say it's not cliche. It's exactly how life works, right? If you're just waiting around for people to come to you because you think you're the best thing ever, sorry to tell you, that's not how it works.
Right. Yeah. And what's that marketing quote? If it goes unseen, untold, it's unsold. So you could literally have the best pizza, hamburger, clothes shop, but if nobody knows about it, you're not going to sell anything.
And that's one of the reasons why you probably were like, hey, let's get on social media, because that's literally where we're all talking. Social media's changed a lot since then. I miss the old school days sometimes.
But what does God call us to do is to be nice to our fellow humans, right? And he doesn't say, oh, well, not that guy because he has the other politician's sign in his yard.
Yeah.
God is like sweeping. You got to love God's people. Dang it, that's hard sometimes. Like, are you sure, God? Because that, so you just try to give grace and love all of God's people.
We just had a podcast with one of my best friends, Dalton Aluminum, and he took over his father's business, and their whole philosophy, their catchphrase, I don't know, is tagline. There you go. Their tagline is serving Jesus Christ in our community for over 30 years.
Nice.
And this whole thing is I put Christ first in my branding, which puts a lot of pressure on me to do the right thing.
Yes.
But his whole philosophy is like, if I'm not glorifying Christ in my business, then I'm not doing you a good service. And at the end of the day, he's outward with his philosophy, but I also believe like if you're doing it to only gain, you're not really gaining. You're not. It is a giver's gain mentality, but I do believe also in a Christ-centered mentality of I'm here to love my neighbor, and if that's not first, it doesn't matter what's happening. And I think that's really cool that you have that mentality
love God,
with
love
anything
people.
you do.
It's an easy command.
Absolutely.
Well, I say easy. It's short. It's
Sure.
not easy.
Yeah.
What
But
about that guy that cut me off in traffic? Come on, God, are you sure?
Yeah. Or like when you're when someone does you wrong and you're about to leave a really nasty review, and you're like, do I need to be one of them?
You're like, what would Jesus do?
How about, I'm not going to give him 5 stars, but I'm not going to give him 1 star. I'm just going to not give him stars today.
Yeah. We joke in our household, I'm going to give him a thumbs down. My husband said that. I said, what?
Call it disliking art.
Yes, I know. It's so silly.
Well, Cindy, thank you so much for being part of our podcast today. We had a fun time. Thank you for the peanut butter,
You're
the
welcome.
chocolate peanut butter.
Cheers.
I will be having this. Thank you again.
Thank you.